So these are all the OTM terminologies generally we'll use in day-to-day basis. What we have in the system. So basically, I have segregated it in different ways. So like these are all the location, calendar, contact. So what is by location? Location is generally like what do we call it as location is the same as location and OTM as well. So but generally we'll have location can be either source or destination. So for example, so if you have ordered something from the Flipkart or any other e-commerce website, so
Okay.
from where the product is started is source location and destination location will be yours, so that they are delivering your good to the destination location. So
Okay.
that is what the location meant in OTM. And calendar is something where you can have the limitations at the location level. So basically, what does that mean is so calendar like you can define. So suppose if any one location, suppose if it is your calendar and you have one destination location and you are working for any logistics company.
Okay.
So and the company is transferring goods from one location to other location. So you
Yeah.
can define your location limitations, saying that only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will pick up the goods or will receive the goods or
Okay.
unload the goods. So you can define it in the calendar and assign it to the location so that that location will have that limitations. mm, So based on the calendar.
Okay.
So understood?
Yeah.
Yeah, contact is a person. So just contact is a person as generally. So how we have the contacts in mobile, it is the same contact. So we'll use
Okay.
here to send the notifications and tenders. If at all we need to notify anything to the any service provider or any involved party contacts. So you can have everyone. They should have the contact in place to
Okay.
send these notifications. So service providers is basically a carrier. Suppose if we can say DHL or FedEx or DTDC, anything is a 3PL,
Service
and
provider.
which is the service providers. Yeah. So service
Okay.
provider is which provides the transportation services.
Okay.
Rates. So rates are basically what does it mean? Means we'll define the rates for the particular source to destination or particular region to region or particular city to city. So in the OTM. So based on that, it actually I mean for A to B location, if you have 10 service providers with the 10 different rates, and if you have one tie up with all those so we'll basically configure all those rates in the system. So based
Okay.
on that, it will pick the best service provider and the best rate. So it means least cost, least time, who are serving better for us. So
Okay.
with actually OTM will automatically picks the service provider when you plan the system, when you
Okay.
plan the order to the shipment. So that's where the rates will come. Rates will have the different terminology like rate distance, rate service, rate offering, rate record, all those stuff.
Okay.
So we'll go through it. We'll go when we are going when we see the rates topic. We'll go all these things. We'll go through all these things.
Okay.
So for now, I'm just letting you know what is terminology and all those stuff. So items are basically what you are shipping from one location to another. It means like
Mm.
items are basically anything you like your whatever we order from
Whatever.
e-commerce, right? So that
Okay.
product will be the item.
Okay.
So item is something like where you are shipping from one location to another location. So the product which you are shipping from one location to another location.
Okay.
So equipment is basically used like equipment is basically what you will have that see, to pack for your item. The item will be packed, right? So packed with
Yeah.
the box or something. So that is called equipment. So equipment basically
Okay.
used to transport items from one location to another location. That equipment can be so the auto trailer, or lorry trailer, or anything. So that
Okay.
box which you are traveling. So because lorry will have that container, right?
Yeah.
So that container will be the equipment. You will have 40 feet equipment or different kinds of lengths in the equipment.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Itinerary is basically a term in OTM which you define the route for any location to location or any region to region or any city to city. So
Okay.
basically with the itinerary, so when you are planning order to shipment, so the itinerary is the key to plan the shipment. Without itinerary, you can't plan the shipment because without defining the route from one location to another location, so
Yeah.
I mean, any order will not get planned. So
Yeah.
itinerary is basically to define the route for any one location to another location or one
From the
region to
location.
another region or one city to another city or anything.
Yeah.
And basically these are all the basic things. I mean order base is
Yeah.
basically the information. Order base, when we see order base is something where you have the detailed information about order but you don't know how when to ship the order. Like you will
Okay.
not have the like delivery date or pickup date for that order. You just have the order in place. So basically, if you have if you take the manufacturing companies, so the order will be like you have to place if you are booking a car or something. So
Okay.
it is not available in the stock in the showroom, so you have to book minimum 6 months before or 1 year before. So because even the dates actually they'll confirm once they have it ready. So in that case,
Okay.
you will go for order based because it is in long term. So you have to
Okay.
wait for 6 months because you don't know the pickup and delivery date until unless it gets manufactured.
Mm.
So it's just an example. You can actually look at it. And other thing is from the order base to order release. If you have an order of something as here you can say 3000 kgs, you can release this order base into the partial. Like you can ship this, you can
Okay.
deliver these goods in a partial. So you can do 500 kgs in once. Like if 500 kgs is ready, you can send them
Mm.
500 kgs. So if
Yeah.
500 kgs is another 1000 kgs is ready, you can send the 1000 kgs to order list. So
Yeah.
likewise, you can have the partial delivery also for any order.
Okay.
Okay, and an order release is actually ready to ship. So order release is something where you know that you have all the details and you know when to ship because when to pick up and
Interesting.
when to delivery. So
Okay.
as you know, like I mean, general again, I can go for the e-commerce example. So
Yeah.
when you book the order, they'll clearly say that we are delivering it to by this date. So which
Mm.
means so the order is ready for delivery. So they have the
Delivery.
order and they are just delivering. So
Okay.
that way we'll go for order release.
Okay. This all location, calendar, contact will come under the order release.
No, everything will see location and it's not come under order release. Actually, I will show you the
Okay.
instance
Okay.
sometime, so you will get to know. These are like I'll go through that also because those all
Okay.
are we call it as master data and these all are the transactional data. So master
Transaction.
data is mandatory for the transactional data.
Yeah.
Okay. So order
Yeah.
movement is something where you can plan. See, order release from order base, you can partially release and partially release lines, and you can do the order release. And from order release, if you want to partially plan the order release, so based on the routing, so you can go for the order movement.
Okay.
So it is a chain process. So this is just example. So, like you have an order list and you want and one planner to manage exporting the order from source to port. So, just example. So, basically, in this scenario, so one transport planner to manage exporting the order from source to port, and second transport planner to manage ocean transport from port to port, and third transport planner to manage importing the order from port to destination. So when you have the same order shipping to source to destination with the different legs and with the different service providers, transport
Yeah.
planner is something a service provider. You have a different
Okay.
service provider. Then in that case, we'll go for order movements.
Order
If it is the
movements.
same service provider and you are even it is a multi-leg or multi-stop, you will mean sorry if it is a multi-leg and if you are going with the same service provider, you don't need to go for order movements because we have a concept called multi-leg shipments, so which you
Okay.
can we can achieve it.
Okay.
O- Okay, so
Okay.
even with the multi-leg, even whatever you are doing with order movements, we can achieve it. So we'll see when we are creating or when I show you how what it is. And also, like order movements will be auto created for the every order release you are planning. So when you
Okay.
are planning the order release, automatically order movement will get created. If it is two leg shipment, two order movements will get created. If it is three leg shipment, three order movements will get created. So it is an automated process within the OTM. You don't need to do anything for it.
Okay. It will only create.
Yeah, yeah, it will only create.
Okay.
This is OTM term, sorry, the line item and ship unit.
Okay. Line
So
item ship.
basically, yeah, yeah. So these all are basically you will see when you are creating the order releases and all those stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So line items is basically describe the goods on the order that is defined like so whatever the details you have given right for the particular line item. So so for one order release you will have multiple lines. Okay. So it means like you can have the multiple products for the one order. It doesn't mean you will have only one item. So if that
Okay.
is, you can define it in OTM when you specify. Basically, we have a concept called order configuration. So where if you can select the line items, so OTM automatically creates the ship unit. Ship unit is something where you will box the item. So equipment is something I told you right. Equipment is something the container lorry trailer.
Container.
It will be
Yeah.
40 feet or anything 53 feet or something. But ship unit is something where you are packing the item. So suppose if phone is there, right? Phone is an item. So that package
Okay.
will be there, right? That box. So that box will be the ship unit pallet or whatever you call it, a ship unit. So you are packing that. So that is called ship unit.
Okay. This one.
Yeah. So the shipments are basically, I mean, so basically order release will when once we have an order, we'll create the shipment. Shipments is basically will have the movement of freight from one location to another location. So once you place the order, right, and so once you place the order, you will get the reference ID. Then they'll uh, like pick up. So when it started, so once the order is placed and when it is started, you will get the shipment AWB reference number, right? Generally, so once you
Yeah.
place the
Tag
order,
number.
so yeah, yeah, that is a shipment ID actually. So that we call it a shipment ID in OTM. So that is the shipment ID to track the ship. Once order is placed and your order is ready to deliver, okay, from one source to another
Okay.
destination. So that time we'll make it that order to the shipment. So that the shipment means it is to track the it's a ID to track from freight from one location to another location.
Yeah.
Okay. And tender is basically we'll have different kinds of tender. First thing. So this is just it's a basic thing. And when we go to the tender, I'll let you know. Like I'll give you the whole more information about this tender types and all those stuff. So basically, tender is basically a notification which we will send to the service provider to offer to move the cargo. So we'll just when we have the shipment ready, we'll do the tendering. So if the shipment planned with the service provider, and if you want like do this note, if you want to send a notification, or basically once your shipment is ready to pick up and delivery, so basically you will send a notification to service provider saying that hey this shipment is ready, so come and pick up and deliver. So,
Okay.
so once you send that notification, they'll approve it. So basically, the tender notification will have from source to destination location and what is the price and all those stuff. So they'll accept the tender and they'll come and pick up and deliver.
Okay.
Okay, and
Shipment events.
yeah, shipment events is basically to track it. So suppose if the pickup is done from source
Okay.
location, so we'll have the event updated in the shipment saying that shipment picked up from the source location. It's just example they have sent. If you have like intermediate stops or if the delivery, if the shipment, if the truck is going for 2 days, like there is a night halt, you can have the another event logged for the shipment so that it's just for the tracking purpose. So So what is happening with the shipment and where is the shipment? Okay, so that is what the shipment events is. So any questions till now?
No, it's okay.
Okay, this is all the just basic navigation for the OTM. How it is? This is all a cloud. So you can see. So this is a cloud basic. This is a new cloud actually. The access which we are giving is like 637. It's not a cloud instance. It's a normal instance, and I will give you the access. I will show you the instance now. So it's generally the same. The how you have it here, it will be in the right menu. It won't be the
What's the instance, sir? What do you
sorry.
mean? What do you mean
In
instance?
instance is nothing but OTM application. OTM
Okay, okay,
application. So to practice it.
okay,
So OTM application it is. So this is actually a latest version of OTM 643, and it's not actually 643. We have 19C as well. This is the cloud version of OTM. So
okay,
actually we don't have the access to the cloud version of OTM. We have for another location. So another version 637. So
okay,
actually, I'll show you all these things. This is all the setup, okay? And this is at the admin level. I'll send you this. I will give you this access as well. I mean PPT. You can check.
oh,
Okay,
okay,
and we will go through this all when we go. Okay.
okay,
So I'll just show you the application now. So basically, the application access which we got is to connect. We have to connect through the remote desktop. So because they have given the direct remote desktop to us, so we'll actually okay. This is application. Okay.
okay.
So generally, how it will be like. So you can log out here.
Okay.
So basically, this is a username password. How you log in. So generally,
Mm,
so this is a OTM menu. Uh, So this is a OTM menu we have. This is basically a DBA.admin. Basically, it's a database admin login. So where you can see the everything here. Okay. So you will have everything here. So this this purchase order and purchase order ID is actually a custom menu. We'll see that this is not the menu of the public
user.
domain of OTM. So this is the order management. So these are all the menus actually. Within this order management, you will have the different menus. Like purchase order
Okay,
is something like order base. So
okay,
you will have order release, order moments, and material management is something where you will call it as item and all those stuff. Okay.
okay.
So this is a
Commodity
custom.
fixed.
Yeah, you have everything here. So we
Okay,
will go through this all those stuff. So once we have so basically this is the OTM menus. Generally, what you see here, right, in the menu. So whatever we are seeing here in the menu, right, order management, shipment management, contact management. These are all the thumbnails here. But actually, here when you see in the application, so this is just a 637 version. Okay.
okay,
So from 6.3 version, so it's actually loading. So from 6.3 before even till 6.4, you have the menu like this. Okay, it's not it's just a normal menu. And this whereas if you see in the latest version, it's a thumbnails, but it is all the same: order management, shipment management, contract management. there is little changes in the application where the reporting server has been removed and all those stuff. I'll update. I'll tell you what are those. So actually we should have got access to the 6.4, but actually 6.4 server got crashed. So that's why
Okay.
we have 6.3.7. We have some instance to practice. Okay, so
Okay.
these are all the different menus you will see. This is application, order management, shipment management. In this, what are all the main concepts or like main menus which we will be regularly working? So it's basically a order management, shipment management, contract rate management, business process automation, configuration and administration. These five are all the main things which we will be looking at and we'll be working on more. So,
Mm.
and there are few other things which you will have the monitor the things. So this operational planning and also I'll tell this for your understanding. So majorly we will be working on all these things. And once, so if you are in suppose if you are not an end user, if you are if you are in support analyst or a developer, so once, so most of the process you will do with the business process automation. Okay.
Okay.
So, and the contract and rate management.
Mm.
So, rest all actually order management, shipping management, and all will be for your testing generally once it is developed. And if any issue to check and they have here, but the setups and all will be from the here. Contract
Okay.
rate management and business process automation on one menu from here, which is itinerary management.
Mm.
So basically, you will look after this all these things, but when it comes, it will all internally linked menus.
Mm.
So basically, it will all internally linked. Okay. Suppose if
Mm.
some contact is missing, you will see it here. Suppose if some location is missing, you will see in the shipment management. Suppose if any items or anything you want to look at, so you will see here. So likewise, it's all internally linked. Okay. So if you have any issue with the master data and all those stuff. So all the menus are internally linked. It's not different menus, but it is being segregated into a different menus.
Mm.
Okay, understood, right?
Yeah.
So any doubt or anything?
No.
Okay. So basically, we have logged in with dba.admin, right? So
Yeah.
dba.admin is a like parent user for all the domains. This is
Mm.
basically a admin user. So from here you will actually create. You can create multiple users actually, admin users and all those stuff. Everyone will not have the dba dot admin user. So domain. So we'll create a different domain. Domain actually what is it mean domain? So domain is basically where you will have all the actions. DBA is something where you can see the all admin access and admin related stuff. So for if you are using this, so suppose if you have any organization, if you want to implement OTM, so basically what will happen? So when you get the access to the OTM, when you got the license, you will have the login of DBA.admin. So, but you cannot do the developments, all developments in DBA.admin because of the security reasons. Because the
Okay.
DBA.admin will have all the access, which everyone should not have. Because DBA.admin is the like it's kind of an what do you say? It's very sensitive domain, I can say, because it will have all the access. You can do any changes in it. So if you can go to the configuration administration also, you will have many things here. Okay, so where you can see the system administration stuff, property management stuff. You can do the many things. Okay, these are all the core. And if you change anything here and anything here, system will get crashed.
Okay.
Okay, so it is very like cluster management. You can do many things in the DBA admin, which everyone should not have the access. So all this
Okay.
access will be having by the DBA users. DBA is something like database administrators who
Okay.
maintains the database. Okay, so that's why
Okay.
what we'll do is whenever we have whenever we are doing any new development, we'll create the domain structure.
Mm.
And domain structure and domains can be created based on the business organization requirement. Suppose, for example, if you take any company like DHL, okay, DHL will have n number of customers because they are the 3PL service providers. So many of the manufacturing companies will reach out to him. So what they'll do is, suppose if you want to have in single domain, you have, but ease of
mm,
business use and ease of business use and tracking the shipments. What they'll do is they'll create the different domains. Okay,
mm,
suppose if they are customer, like if DHL is the service provider for Airbus, so Airbus, you know, right? It's a plane manufacturing company. So if it
mm,
is, they'll have one domain. They'll be creating one domain for Airbus, and if they are from Alstom, Alstom is basically this metro coach, train coach manufacturing. There are many. They are into many actually. So they can
mm,
create. They'll create Alstom as an another domain. Okay. So basically, you will say public domain. Public domain is basically a DBA domain from where you can create multiple domains, and from that domain you can create subdomains as well. Suppose from public DBA.admin you create one domain called Airbus. So from Airbus, within Airbus you have different business. Okay, within Airbus you can create Airbus one, Airbus two. You can create different domains, and what will happen? So that Airbus one, whatever you define it as region, right? So all the
mm,
orders will be created here, and Airbus two orders will be created here. And thing is, like you cannot see the Airbus two orders in Airbus one, and Airbus two or one orders in Airbus two, but these two subdomain orders we can say it in domain 2. It's a
okay,
parent domain for it. Okay.
mm,
And this can be accessed through the DBA domain.
mm,
You understood, right? The
mm,
relationship
yeah,
between the domains.
mm,
So I'll show you, because I mean just making you understand before going to the application. What does it mean? Why did we log in as a DBA or something? So
mm,
basically, this domain creation and all we'll do once we have the, I mean, when we go through that. Okay. So these are the default domains which we will get. So basically, we'll use the public. So public domain is a DBA.admin.
mm,
Okay, and this public domain data will be edited only by the DBA admin. Whatever, if you get access for the normal admin, you cannot edit the public data access. Only you can view the access. So if you want
mm,
to change anything, you should log into DBA admin and do the changes. It is a global data actually.
mm, mm,
So this is service provider. Service provider is access. So basically, we'll use these two: service ServPro and public. ServPro is basically to have the to give the access to the service providers. So
okay,
service providers can be anyone, right? External users. So basically, for external users, we'll give the service providers access and have the access to their shipments alone, not all the shipments, because so everywhere, if you can see, it's a data security, right? Whatever, I mean, whatever you do in the application, any application, it's not the OTM. So basically, everyone will think of the data security.
mm,
So that everything can be done in OTM.
mm,
Okay. So that's how we'll have the domain concepts, and we have other concepts also where we can look, where we are going to see in coming forward. I already told you, right, about child domains. So which are
yeah,
subdomains.
subdomains. Mm,
Yeah, yeah. So it's the same. They have explained here. So what it is, what and all. So whatever I said, it is there in detail explanation.
mm,
So as I told you, like what access subdomain has to the parent domain by default, a parent domain can see all child data, not vice versa.
mm,
So I told you, right, like child
yeah,
parent domain can see the child domain, but child domain, there are like child domain cannot see the parent domain
the
data.
parent domain.
Yeah. So these are all the difference between like public versus configured domain. So public domain contains data that can be used throughout the OTM system. So that's all
Mm,
whatever I said. And these configured domains contains the client specific data. So anything,
mm,
it can be master data, transactional data, anything you can create it from the configured domain data.
configure
So
domain.
I just told you, right? Yeah. So it's in GID. What is meant by GID? It's an global identifier. So basically, whenever you create, so I mean, see, these all are I'll explain you when we go into the system. Okay,
Okay,
so that you will understand better. Basically, global identifier is something, if you are aware of the Oracle SQL or something table. Basically, in table we'll have like git and XID. XID is something which does not have any alliance name. So basically, domain name is alliance name. If you create like Airbus as a domain. Whatever you create in the system, it will be airbus dot object
Mm-hmm.
name, like any location name or contact name. It will be airbus dot location name. So which is the global identifier. But XID is something which is not with the domain name. Okay, this is XID. Suppose here they have given right Texas, which is
Yeah.
XID. With if it is guide git global identifier, it is mfg dot Texas. MFG is something like a domain name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's showing right. Whenever you create an object in OTM, you will assign it to an ID, which is known as XID.
Okay.
So this is the ID. Texas is the city which you created, which is the ID. ID is the XID, and
Mm-hmm.
GID. I mean GID is with the domain name and the ID of the object. So domain name dot ID is the GID. Understood or any
Yeah.
confusion?
No, it's fine.
So, but in the problem is another thing is when you go into the application, you can see only the ID. You cannot see the Git. Git can be seen
Okay.
only it's at the database level. It's not at
Mm-hmm.
the application level. Even
Okay.
when you are searching any objects in the application, you have to use the XID, not the GID. Okay, so these are all the as I was showing you, right? What is the difference between public domain and the client domain? So this is the same thing here. What you can do. Okay,
Mm.
so this is all the domain setup. So these are all we can do like when we go through the all these setups.
Okay.
Now till now, whatever we created, you're clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we'll see what how we segregate the data and what is there in the system. So OTM data can see this is all. Now I'm just giving you the information how we segregate the data, what all we do now. So the data can be stored in the data stored in OTM database can be divided into following categories. Basically, whatever the data we are creating and storing in the database, we can
Mm-hmm.
segregate into the different categories. So this is just for understanding. So generally, what we call it in the real-time world. Okay. So
Okay.
master data, transactional data, and configuration data. Master data is something where you are maintaining the data to avoid the duplication. Okay. So if you have the location as in Bangalore, so you don't need to
Mm.
have multiple locations, right, for the same Bangalore. So you can have the
Mm.
one location itself. So basically, to avoid duplication and all, so basically we'll call it as master data
Master
maintenance.
data.
Maintenance. Basically, it's a maintenance because so how why do we maintain master data? So because to avoid the duplication. Another thing is this locations, contacts, items, rates, and all. We'll call it as master data. Okay. So transactional data. Transactional data is something where generated with a business process. Business process is something. So if you have an order, so once if you are receiving orders to create in the systems, it means business process has been started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which we call it as transactional data. Basically, the order base, order release, order payment, whatever we spoke now, right? Shipments and the
Mm.
financial part invoice and bills and all will come under the transactional data because I'll tell you why it is transactional data. Okay, so transactional data can be transformed from like one system to other system. Basically, the integration part. So I'll tell
Mm.
you what it means. So just for your information, just have an idea what is master data, transactional data, and configuration data is something where you are doing the customization of the application. So basically, your customization of the application is means so where you are configuring the additional resources to in the application
Okay.
to have the system automated. Okay, so configuration in the sense you will not transact the data, but you will have it configured in the system.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is different methods to load or create. So, I mean, you can create the data within the application, or this is where I'm telling. So, integration from the source system. So, integration from the source system is something where it comes. So, order release, order release. So basically anything can be transacted first thing, okay. So master data also we'll receive locations, contacts, items and not rates, no, but items, contacts, locations all we'll receive it from external system. External system is something like it can be EBS, so or anything. So CRM, any tool, it will be SAP or Oracle or any tool. Will we can receive it, but the thing is, so for order release and shipment, what you do is we'll receive it and we'll send it out from OTM. But this locations, contacts, and all. So if it all needed, then only we'll send. If not, we will not send them back. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we'll call it as master data. And the our
Mm-hmm.
transactional data uses master data to get the business process done. So
Okay.
meaning, so if you want to create an order, so order to create an order, you need to have the locations in place. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
once the order is when you have locations in place and you create the order to plan into the shipment. So to create the order, you need to have like items in place also because you need to know what items you are shipping in that order, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically, it uses the master data of everything, so that rates to plan into the shipment you need the rates, and to send some notifications about the order and the shipment you need contacts. So likewise
Mm-hmm.
it uses the master data, but as configuration data also uses the master data, but you will actually uh, configure it in OTM. So basically it is showing to controls the way OTM operates to support a business process. Okay, so basically we are customizing the application, how the business process, what the business needs. So to automate, instead of
Mm-hmm.
doing the manual work, we are automating the process. So these are all we'll call it as master data. So
Mm-hmm.
master data is the very critical for the business because it has all the information which they wanted to do for their transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically these are all the different master data items we have. So we'll actually see one by one what it is. So that's what. So these are all we'll call it as master data item, lanes, commodity, rate, record, location. So we'll actually go through one by one. So I mean, for today we are stopping here so that we'll continue direct this from here, and tomorrow we'll complete. So
Okay.
whatever I covered. For her, so that we'll continue with all together from the
Oh,
day three.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll show you this what is meant by, like I'll explain you what is meant by item and how it is created in the system, and all those
Okay.
stuff we'll see in the coming classes.
Okay.
So with practical and all those stuff. So this application access, I you got it right. How to log in it. So just now I
Mm.
showed you, right. You have to go to the let me stop this. So because I'll share this access. So
Okay.
you have to
We need
go
to.
through the run.
Yeah.
So actually basically you need to log into the remote desktop first, and then you have to log in the Mozilla Firefox.
Only Firefox it will work.
Yeah, no, actually in this system here it's only Firefox it will work.
Okay.
Generally,
Okay.
if it is a
Okay.
web application, if you have the web access, because these guys does not have web server.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's actually a different access, because the getting OTM access is very difficult and license is very costly. Okay? So we'll
Mm-hmm.
actually take it from the third party vendor who maintains the server. So
Okay.
remote desktop, right?
Mm.
So basically you have it here. So it's already open, but we can close it and open the Mozilla Firefox. So it will automatically have it. And the username password I'll give you that dpa.admin and change.
Okay. First we have to run the in run we have to type.
MS, I'll give you that steps